Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. From matters of politics, we talk about women leadership and empowerment, because when you look at the World Economic Forum's gender gap report, political empowerment remains the weakest area of gender equality at the global level. But when you look at a country like Kenya, despite progress, yes, we've had women rise to political seats and leadership positions across the country, but there's still an underrepresentation within the political structure. And as we head into 2027, how are women shaping that roadmap? I'm having this conversation with one Captain Irene Dano, who is a commercial pilot, a philanthropist, and founder of Captain Irene Dano Foundation and Water Foundation. Karibu sana.
Asante.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you.
You know, when we talk about women leadership and empowerment, from your perspective, what does leadership and empowerment mean to you?
Well, for me, I think it's women being at the forefront, being in positions of decision making.
Yes.
And positions of authority where they can mentor other younger women. And empowerment is just to be able to give that opportunity to the next person, not necessarily just the younger women, but just everybody around. So that's what I believe women leadership and empowerment is for me. And
mentorship, mentioned mentorship, which is a very important aspect. We've seen many girls, young ladies who are rising to political seats, going to vie for various seats across the political landscape. What do you make of this so far? Has mentorship played a part in all that?
I want to believe mentorship has a huge role to play in it, but at the same time, it's important to understand what has driven them to want to be in those positions.
Yes.
People perceive these positions differently. If it's for the need to serve or for the need to be an example to others, a good example at that, then that's fine. But if it's for any other reasons, like, I mean, we know now there's this notion and mentality that when you get into leadership, especially in political spheres, you're in a position to enrich yourself quicker, you're in a position to cut funny deals. So there's that other mentality of the leadership positions. So I hope it's for good reasons that they want to be in those positions. Yeah,
very important. You put it very well, and I also think it also touches on the perception that they have as to what leadership is, what politics is. But then again, when you talk about this empowerment of women, should we focus on the number of women occupying leadership positions, or their ability to influence decisions and policies?
I think it should be both. We should focus on the number and the ability in equal measure. I mean, I'm thankful to our new constitution for the positions we have right now, the affirmative action, where we have the two-third gender rule, where now we have the women representation that is mandatory. We have the women rep positions. So, I mean, that's one that goes to cover that number. But then again, when it comes to impact, it would be nice to see women being in effective positions, or having being able to show or give change in positions that they occupy. So I think we should focus on both the number and the effectiveness,
And when you look at women today in the country, are they influencing Kenya's future agenda, even when they do not occupy the political and leadership positions that we are talking about?
They definitely are. We see a lot of younger women now wanting to occupy these positions, and this is not just politically, even in the corporate space. We do see a lot of young women wanting to be to occupy those top positions. So yes, I think women are shaping and influencing other younger women to want to be in these top positions. Yes.
Let's look at the state of women leadership in Kenya from your perspective and from what you've seen. Where are we today?
We're in a good place, but we're not where we're supposed to be. I believe a lot more can be done.
Yeah.
We can have a lot more women in these spaces. But I don't think we're doing so badly off. I think we have some brilliant leaders at the helm of our government, in our political space.
Yeah.
We see movers in the corporate space. We have great representation of our women even outside in diaspora. So
Yeah.
I think we are doing pretty well,
Yeah.
but a lot more could be done for sure.
Actually, when you look at the judiciary, the top leadership of judiciary is
Yes.
actually ladies,
Yes.
and they're making a mark. I think that is an inspiration enough even into to a girl who is watching right now and they want to scale higher. That should be maybe the starting point.
Yes, yes.
And looking at leadership across government, business, academia, civil society, from where you stand, where do you think women are making considerable gains, and where do gaps remain in those sectors?
The gaps are there. I wouldn't say specifically in a certain portfolio, but the gaps are definitely there. The gains, I can say right now, we have them politically. Like you mentioned, in the judiciary, we have Justice Martha Koome sitting at the helm of it, which is pretty encouraging. We have other positions where we have brilliant women leaders in office. And I think the areas where we have gaps so far, I would say, would probably be in... It would be nice to see a female president in this country. Yes, yes. And I think we're ready for that.
And actually, we've seen we've seen ladies go for the top seat, the likes of Martha Karua, Charity Ngilu.
Yes.
Means it's not a matter of if, but when.
Yes, 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 yes. And we have upcoming ones as well.
Yeah, we have upcoming ladies. And actually, they are very vibrant. When you look at the political space right now, we have so many ladies who are very vibrant within the political space. They are going for leadership positions.
Yes, yes.
They are influencing change in their own way.
Yes, yes, yes.
And at the global context, you know, the World Economic Forum, as I had put earlier, indicates that political empowerment remains the weakest area of gender equality globally. But despite the progress, there is still underrepresentation of women when it comes to political structures. Why do we still have that now?
A lot of factors do not favor the female gender when it comes to leadership, and especially in the political space. We have cultural issues or cultural practices that impede women to occupy these positions. For example, we have our Muslim folks, where we know that the female, normally as a practice, they're not perceived to be very vocal when it comes as compared to the male counterpart. So we have these practices transcend into their positions when they occupy these positions or given the mandate to represent. So this is one of the things I feel impedes, and it's not just the Muslim community. We also have our own African cultural practices that do not allow women to, or don't favor women to be vocal where men sit, right? So that's one of them. We also have motherhood, you know, to have that balance between being a mother and having to have a career, whether it's in politics or it's in the business world. It's a huge challenge for women, all right? And education as well. We have a huge number of the literate folks being the male counterparts vis-a-vis the women. So we have a lot of barriers that impede women from being able to show off in these positions globally.
When you look at the cultural aspect, yes, there are those aspects that do not really favor women. But on the same note, what do you think? Can we use culture to empower women?
We can. We can. Very much so we can. We can use culture to empower women. For example, there are cultural practices that automatically take women out of these decision-making spaces.
Yeah.
We have some of our communities in our country, Kenya, right now, where we have the FGM. We know that does not work very well for the girl child.
Yeah.
So one of these would be to educate both our men and women against this, and having this, I wouldn't say phased out, but just stop completely would be an empowerment to the girl child. Yes.
And when you let's look at constitutional promise versus reality. Of course, the two-third gender rule is enshrined in the Constitution as a safeguard for inclusion.
Yeah.
But more than a decade later, the implementation remains incomplete. As a country, why do you think we have failed to realize this? Is it goodwill, or where do we fall short?
Maybe it's the lack of role models. Having the numbers does not necessarily mean that we have good leadership to look up to.
Yes.
Those are two different things. We might have the numbers, but we might not have the very role models. So I feel that probably this could be one of the things that has made younger women, or women generally, not be able to come forth to seek these positions. I feel like that's one of them, the lack of the good role models or good mentors. Yeah, that could be one of them. The other thing, it's just being from the, we know women are regarded as the weaker gender. So there's that perception of men can do this. It's fine. We can lead from behind. Yes. Yeah. So that could be one of the reasons why.
Do you also think that do you think we have provided enough platforms that encourage women to rise to these positions, be it in business, be it economically, or even politically? Have we provided those platforms?
I think the platforms are there, but they're not practical. It's more of spoken, women empowerment, this, empowerment, that. But when it comes to the implementation and the actual occupation of those platforms, it's just rhetoric, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because
when you get to actually wanting to occupy those positions, you find those fine lines, those fine print sort of impediments to the women. So I feel like the platforms are there, but they're not necessarily practical for women to occupy. Yes.
On that same regard, you know, we have seen women governors, we are seeing women members of parliament, women representatives. They're rising in all political positions. And as a country, can we say we have increased the visibility of women in those in leadership positions, but failed to increase their influence in decision making?
Yes and no.
Why?
Okay, so like you mentioned, we do have the numbers, and I come from a county that I'm very proud to say that the top leadership is female. Yes, it's a female leadership, right? And we have other counties that also do have female governors, right? Which is a good thing. Yes. But now to have that their leadership or that effect being felt, I would say that we have not failed, because I feel like if we had the numbers, maybe we would have seen more of what it is that is expected of such leadership, in my opinion. So yes, the numbers are there, not much, could be more, but then when it comes to the effectiveness, I feel like the ones that are there, they've done the best they could to have that seen and felt. Yes.
If as a country we are to make that happen, be seen and felt as you're putting it, how should we focus on substantive representation where women directly shape policy and governance outcomes?
Please say that again.
How should we, or where should we focus where should we train our guns in making sure that we achieve substantive representation of women and that they get that chance to influence policy and decision making?
Empowerment. Let's empower our women. I feel like we should empower them in all aspects. We should give equal opportunities to women as we give to men, provide them with just have them be able to access education just as much as the boy child does. We know early or teen pregnancies does affect women, and it impedes them from being able to occupy these spaces when there comes a time. So I feel like we should afford equal opportunity to both men and women. So with regards to education and also in positions, let's have this what do I call it, promotion or the hierarchy climbing be equal for both men and women, politically, in the corporate, in all our spaces. Let's have women also be able to occupy those spaces as much as men do. Equal opportunities in all aspects. That's what I think we should.
And do you think women have to work a little bit harder than their male counterparts in order to gain recognition and even legitimacy and even acceptance within leadership spaces, be it not only in leadership spaces but other spheres of influence within life? Do women have to?
Unfortunately.
Why is it?
Perception. We are, as a woman, I'm speaking from experience, there's that perception that we are the weaker gender. So yes, it's.
But is it really true that you are the weakest?
It is not. We live life. What do you mean? It is not. It's far from the truth. It's far from the truth. I feel like women are able to shoulder a lot more as compared to men, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all aspects. I feel like women are a super powerhouse, but it's not seen as that. There's that sense of women being perceived as weaker. I know there's emphasis on a woman being, the female gender being taken care of, but now it's now affecting our abilities or the perception of our capabilities, which is not true. I think we are strong and capable enough.
And when you look at let's say political parties, from what you've seen happen within the country, what practical measures can political parties take to ensure that institutions and society create a more level playing field for both women and men?
Afford equal opportunities. The same criteria you use for men, let it be the same you use for women. Drop the double standards. That's what I think should happen. Yes.
And as we approach, we are approaching the elections in 2027. Let's look at influence on national priorities. Looking at the major issues that will shape 2027.
Yes.
The cost of living, healthcare, unemployment, accountability. When you look at women's leadership now, how visible is it in shaping these conversations?
Women's leadership, speaking from the local perspective in our country, I think we have brilliant female leaders. I mean, right from the Senate to the National Assembly to the cabinet to top corporate positions. I think we have quite a number of them that we could put on the table. When it comes to shaping 2027, I think we have women who should be allowed in at the table where policies and decisions are made.
Yeah.
We need to create this table for these women. We have them. We have those leaders, right? But now they need to be at the decision-making tables. That's what I feel.
And how do they rise to those positions of those levels of decision-making? Do they have to be handed those positions, or they go for it based on what happens? Let's say for leadership positions you buy, for promotions you are promoted on merit, if it's a business or corporate. How are they supposed to rise to those positions?
I would want to say they should rise on merit, but that's not what happens. We have a lot of, like politically, we have the nominated positions, for example, the senatorial, even the National Assembly, and also the affirmative action where we have the 47 women county reps. We are made to feel like these positions are handed over to us and we don't have to fight for them. So when we assume office or we assume those positions, we're told, you're here because, not because you earned it, but because the Constitution says, or your party put you there, or you know? So that handing over is more emphasized than those who actually have to fight it out with the men in the field. When we go to we cross over to the corporate side, we see women getting promotions. It would be nice to imagine that it is, in most cases it is on merit, but we've had cases of where it's not the case, it's otherwise, right? So it would be nice to see the women get to these positions by the fact that they are capable, they are able, and they understand these positions, but we're made to feel like it's given and handed over to us.
Whereas you have worked for it.
Yes, and qualified.
And qualified, actually.
Yes.
Very important. And, you know, we're having ladies going for political positions in the next general elections. What do you think are the issues that they should place at the center of the national conversation as we approach the electioneering period? From your perspective, what issues should they concentrate on?
I think we should, and I'm speaking from the perspective that I'm one of the ladies who will be seeking political office. One of the things, well, there are many things we should be considering, but most importantly, it should be to change the lives of the people that give us the mandate to go and represent them. And it is to change for the better, because change can be either. So for me, it's to advocate for positive change in the lives of the people that we are sent to represent. We have to look at issues to do with having improved health, access to education. We have to look out for, to lower unemployment. We have to focus on unemployment as well, have our youth get opportunities and positions. There are a lot of things to consider. It's just about bettering the life of the person who gave you the mandate to go and speak on their behalf in those platforms.
The whole aspect of representation.
Absolutely.
Let's look at the next generation of women leaders. We have younger women who have vied and successfully won the political seats in parliament. We have like the women rep of Kirinyaga County in Jerry Minor, Bomet County, that is Lynette Chepkoril.
We have Emilia Mabona.
Yes. Does that, when you look at the younger women leaders, does that signal a shift in, a generational shift in the way women leadership is seen within the country?
I like that women are becoming vocal. I like that women are bold now to want to be seen and heard in effecting change in our society, in being part of the conversation where we want to better our people's lives. I like that. And so I feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see a major shift in terms of the number of women in our political spaces. So it's a good thing to see.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm happy to also be one of them. And yeah, to many more women in politics.
And when you look at the rise of young women leaders, does that inspire confidence in the future of women leadership in the country?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. It inspires a great deal of confidence. Personally, I'm very proud to see young women in leadership positions. It shows that as a country we are moving forward, because we are creating that continuity to what was already started by our predecessors. So it's a step in the right direction for us as a country and for the female gender as well.
And because when you talk about leadership, it's not only about politics. We have women making some considerable influence outside government. Because leadership extends beyond politics that we are used to. How significant is their contribution when it comes to matters of business, academia, civil society, media, and innovation that you're talking about, and it will shape Kenya's future? How important is that?
We know that spaces where women are at the helm of affairs, in the top positions, we see those spaces, or the kind of leadership that is afforded by these women, to be that of empathy. We see that a lot of, even from the past, we see a lot of peace was achieved mostly where women were mediators. So the leadership style of women, I feel, or also from my experience, and also being a young leader in my own right, I feel like where women are at the helm of issues, things tend to be more calmer and structured. It's less chaotic. It's more structured, more like a nurturing kind of governance.
And so when you look at, based on what you've said and the kind of leaders women leaders we've seen, are there lessons that can be learned from women who have broken barriers and risen to positions of influence? What do you think should be the lessons that ought to come from that?
Well, with this, I think I have to pick like specific instances for women in such positions. For example, we have presidents, female presidents that we've seen in the past. We have the current Namibian president. We have our very own neighbor, Madam
Suluhu.
Exactly. We have the former Ethiopian president. So there are a number of them. Lessons to be picked from this. Well, so far, in my opinion, what I would say would be that we are ready for female leadership, I think. And I see that what they're doing in their countries is actually, most of it is commendable. I mean, the countries are still standing, right? And also, it's encouraging. They serve as mentors. I believe most of them are mothers, grandmothers. And so I feel the lessons that we can pick from them is just for us women to continue to be bold and believe that we can occupy these positions, and nothing is impossible. Yes.
And when you look at a country like Kenya, how can we better leverage on the expertise and leadership of women today so as to accelerate national development?
We have brilliant minds in our country. We can also learn from what's happening across the globe, where women are in leadership positions. So I feel like we can try to have these women at the helm of these positions, and also try and get empowerment programs for our women. At the same time, I don't like speaking on empowerment just on one side. I like to speak on empowerment for both, right?
Paint a picture.
Okay. So when I say empowering a woman and without empowering a man, I feel like you're doing half the job.
Yeah.
Because if you create opportunities that give the woman the upper hand, and you don't create opportunities that makes the man understand why the woman has the upper hand, and that it's or also giving the male counterpart the same kind of empowerment in their own rights, I think we create an imbalance that I'm sure we can see the negatives currently, right?
Yeah.
I did not want to touch on it, but I just have to mention because you said I should paint a picture.
Because you look at it, there are those who feel that there's a concentration of empowering the girl child.
Yes.
And there are those who feel that the boy child has been, in a way, neglected, because he's the same person who's supposed to be at par with the girl child. So I think what you're saying is very true, because they're supposed to be at par. Because when you empower both, I think it also goes ahead to ensure
create
that
a balance.
Yes, it creates a balance.
Yes.
Let's touch on mentorship. What do you think needs to be done more to inspire more young ladies to rise into leadership positions, not only politically, but also to go for positions in maybe business, civil society, other areas, healthcare? Yes.
So for those already in such positions, be good examples, create platforms for these young ladies, educate them, give them opportunities. Personally, I have tried to do that to the younger girl child and boy child. So I have created an empowerment program, which on my part is I feel like it's a mentorship that I'm offering for our youth.
Yes.
So I feel like the leaders in these positions should create platforms for our youth. We should be good role models, and I think that should be able to encourage more into these positions. Yes.
When you look at our political landscape and the role model that role that you're talking about, do you think the political environment now is setting a good example to the younger ones, just from your own perspective?
Yes and no.
Why?
It depends on what you're looking for politically.
Yes.
There are those who are upstanding, morally, in every sense, and you can choose to look up to them. And there are those who choose the politics of insults and propaganda and slandering. So yes and no. We do have people who politic very clean. They have their points articulated. They have their message right across to whoever it is that they intend it for. And we have those who just heckle and use, profane language. So I say yes and no. But then again, it depends on who your audience is.
Let's close this. I want you to look at that camera and give your closing remarks and talk about what you see as the future of women leadership and empowerment in the country.
Thank you. So for women leadership, I am excited about where we are going as a country when it comes to the women representation as a country. I'm very happy to see a lot of young women coming out to ask or seek for these political positions. Personally, I am I will be asking for the same when it comes to the next general elections. And for my position, we are a lot of young women who are asking for these positions, for this same position. And I see the same across the other counties. And it's exciting to see this, because whoever makes it, you don't leave behind losers. You leave behind a troop of leaders who you know that their future is bright. So please, women, come out, occupy these spaces, occupy these positions. They're for you. Nobody's going to hand it over to you. You have to come for it. So I'm excited as a country to see where we're going, and I'm looking forward to the day that we will have a woman president in this country. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I wish you all the best
Thank
in
you
your
very much.
endeavors. That is Captain Irene Ndano, who is a commercial pilot, philanthropist, and founder of Captain Irene Ndano Foundation and Water Foundation. This conversation comes to an end